You know what I mean? It's like, that's what this podcast is. Like, we sit around and do this every day anyway. We have breakfast, we have coffee, we sit around naked, half naked because it's hot. I'm just not, if I was that buff, I would do it, but
And the thing is, you do that every day.
Yeah, I do,
but when the cameras are rolling, you know
I'm a little less real. But
I think it's time we like start going out of our comfort zone.
Yeah. When is some filter appropriate? Look what I got to tell you. Look what I got to. When you live next to the Olsen twins, they're so skinny. I can't compete with this. I'm really shooting for 95% reality. Okay, you can never give 100%. It's impossible.
That is a dilemma, right?
Right.
It's like trying to measure the velocity and the position of an electron. Like
it's exactly
the moment you try to measure like yourself or like the full being of yourself, you change the experiment because you're measuring.
Yes, it is. It is like trying to measure an electron, but you know it's more like? It's like trying to like open the refrigerator and then close it and try to figure out who's turning the light off and on. That's really more of how irritating it is. I'm trying to get to the 100% truth of anything. Who you are, what really happened last night.
What? I mean, that's the thing. It's like everything is filtered, right? I mean, especially if we're getting it through any kind of media. I mean, like there's a cameraman and there's an editor, and you know, like just the fact that you've got the editor. I mean, like it's being filtered. Everything is filtered. I'd like to think that there's certain things that we can trust in.
Well, we have to. Like, all I'm saying is that we're trusting in our best guess. You can only ever get that far. It's like what do you call it? The asymptote? Google it. Or you explain it. Like, no matter how close you get to the line, you always avoid it.
But you can't touch it.
You can't ever touch it. You know, I mean, we're talking about right now. I mean, like, Bernie just won in Hawaii.
Oh, and he killed it.
Yeah, he destroyed. But it's like, remember, I was like, I was going to do my first podcast the day that the caucus was. Yep. And I had to decide, like, in my mind, I was like, is my one vote really going to count that much that I'm going to irritate my personal life of doing this podcast? Yes, I care, kind of. I do. I love Bernie. He's the first time I've ever even thought about voting in 20 years. Seriously. The last time I voted was because I thought you had to, which was 20 years ago. And then I thought, screw the system, my vote doesn't count. And then just this past time, I thought, I don't care if it counts or not. I just want to play. This is weird. I knew I was going against all my Asian math that said that your vote doesn't really matter.
You're talking about going against your Asian. I donated to the campaign.
Exactly.
I donated money to his campaign.
Because it just felt good.
Like, oh, God, this goes against everything like my genes are telling me not to do. It's like give away money. But yeah, I donated.
That's like tipping for a fortune cookie at the Chinese restaurant. What the hell?
I kept it real for the Asians.
But you know.
I don't know. You gave somebody some money yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. He gave money on camera, though.
So I don't know.
Homeless lady or Bernie? Homeless lady or Bernie? Here you go, homeless lady.
Let's
We're breaking stereotypes here. We're breaking stereotypes.
Okay, wait. Let's look at the footage real fast. Okay.
What does that say?
I love it.
Let's see. Would you please read the sign for us, Michele?
Aloha. God is love. Please help. Making slow but steady progress. Thank you for your love and kindness. Broke, homeless, hungry, disabled, no family, no parents, recently passed.
See? Here you go, sister.
Thank you so much. Every little bit really helps.
All right.
Like when you're signing?
I love the sign.
I love the sign. See?
Okay,
see what happened?
Now we're back. Okay, so, and we didn't, because we had the footage where he's actually like giving money on camera. I'm like, if this motherfucker wasn't on camera, he ain't giving no damn change. This Chinese trying to push it too far.
He's mixed though, bro. He's mixed.
The
You got the Hawaiian coming through, bro.
Nah, you know what it is? Totally like, it is random. Like sometimes I just be in a good mood and I just give. I don't care. I'm just in that mood. I'm good. They may come with you with a smile. You just give. But then in my mind, you know, sometimes that logic voice comes out. They're gonna buy drugs. You dummy. You just paid for meth. You're trying to do good, so it looked good to do it on camera, right? But what's wrong with that? Oh. You were trying to promote the idea, but do you really believe in that? I guess that's what I'm saying. Is that by doing that little act, we all just lazily go, oh, there's Mike being a good guy. But is that going to make the problem better? If you look at if everybody just gave more money, would they go away or would they increase? Go.
Oh, dude.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So it's like we jokingly go, that was cute. But are you feeding?
It's the encouragement.
Do you want them to go away or not? And you have to answer that question. And if you want to be more on the streets, what would you do?
I mean, I think deep down inside we want to help, right? Help in some way, shape.
Exactly. But you don't want.
That's where we get into the discussion.
Because you don't want good intentions but bad results.
Right.
I'd rather even have bad intentions and good results. Like if my kid's starving and then you're gonna throw a rock at me, but you didn't know it was a muffin, and it goes into my kid's mouth, I'd be like, thank you. You almost killed my kid, but turned out it was a Costco muffin.
Yeah.
And luckily it was blueberry. My kid loves blueberry. You know what I mean? But that was bad intention, good result. But what if it's like good intention, like here's the muffin, you're starving, and it's a rock, and now my kid can't see for life. I'm like, but I didn't mean to. Where's the other guy who tried to kill my kid with the muffin instead of the person who tried to feed it with a rock? And sometimes we do that. Sometimes out of good intentions, we throw rocks at starving babies, metaphorically, right? We think we're doing good, right? But are we? So I joke because I do that. We all do that, Mike. We all do that. We give sometimes when we're good, and then girls in the car and we're on camera. And sometimes when we're like, I'm late, I gotta take a shit. I'm going home. I'm running by homeless people, and they smell like shit, which only reminds me of the shit I gotta take. Fucking run it. You know what I'm saying?
This is rated HR.
These are the things that plague our minds. I think the real stuff that we're really dealing with is like, because I want to give too, because it makes me feel good. They smile, and a lot of it where it comes from too is I think, holy shit, all my limbs work. I got to go to PAU. You guys got to go for the whole time.
Hey, why don't you expose all of her?
He's like, this is rated HR, not rated kid.
Rated my biography.
It's like too much truth. What I say though, you only want a certain amount of reality. You only want so much.
Hopefully that doesn't make the cut for the 95% we're trying to project.
Hey, but that's what's beautiful. That's what's beautiful. We can cut it all out. We live in the studio, and we can move right into the Golden State Warriors thing last night.
Wow!
Oh,
foul! No foul. Okay. Just throw it up. Throw it up.
Sounds
Why is everybody licking his balls? Everybody.
Because I like salty nuts. I love salty nuts.
Mike Wong's salivating.
They're really good
Tom
with
is
beer.
salivating.
Good with beer. Salty nuts makes it easy to drink beer.
Fourth quarter, boys. Fourth quarter. Let's go. Fourth quarter cheers.
Oh, watch out, that phone's not waterproof.
But the theme for that one, Kealoha, is that the guys have to explain to the girl in a way that keeps her interested.
Golden State up by 18 points.
Well, she's daddy's girl, and NFL is her thing. Football and stuff like that. So it's an easy translation.
Nice. That's sweet.
But
I do ask questions. So every time we watch a game now, I'm asking. Okay, so.
And he's a good boyfriend. He doesn't get annoyed. He's a good teacher.
He's a very good teacher. I don't know. He may get annoyed. He doesn't show me.
Because most guys do. Most guys are like, honey, I'm watching the game.
Well,
who's the blue team? What is that 1 point and that's 2?
How'd you feel last night about getting the ham? She got the ham.
I got the ham. Because I wanted to ask if the coach of the Spurs, if the guy that they were interviewing is that, and he. Now, had this happened like 4 months ago, I would have been off.
But
now it's like, he wants to listen to what they're saying.
In fairness, anybody would have gotten that hand had they been talking while at the same time that someone else was. It's like if you're trying to listen to something.
Well, see, nobody else at the table last night was paying attention to the TV, so I figured it was an appropriate time to ask a question because they're all doing their thing at the end. He's the only one, and so.
You're dating a different kind of player.
I'm learning.
You should have asked that question to someone else.
Next time I will.
Not watching.
Hey, learning experience. Next time I will meet Ryan. Who is this person?
Hey, this is part of like boys and girls we have to talk it out, man.
Okay, back to the female marketing.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe we can start with the aesthetic. Aesthetic. I mean, we've got these hunky Probably best athlete.
You're going with sex appeal.
Yeah,
Nice, sex appeal.
yeah,
Okay,
let's start
yeah.
there. You know,
Okay.
at the root of it.
Okay. That's a very cheap
Well, see, and-
a very cheap,
And-
insulting way to attack it.
I actually never went to sex appeal.
Talking to the masses.
No,
I
I'm kidding.
I
That's
know.
cute, but I think we can catch him with like. I think we can catch him with. It's a game you would love. The chess part of it, the drama of it, the rhythm of it.
I'm here just to be clear, because there's a whole like ton of women who play
Of course.
basketball and play sports.
Absolutely.
But percentage-wise,
Are we directing this conversation not towards them, but towards
of course, yeah. So like, but what
Fringe.
what percentage are into basketball already as a female? Let's discuss that percentage, just for reference.
basketball as the sport, not necessarily the NBA, but WNBA as
Okay,
well.
why don't we combine them all?
And-
Women who play it, women who actually watch it and love it, but not. Let's exclude all other women. Women who love it and play it. That's one percentage. What is that? Of the women, how much does that represent right there? Love it, into it, and play it. It doesn't matter. Maybe you don't even have to play it, but you're into it. Does that make 20, 10, 15?
Yeah, on the count of 3, wits and wagers, everyone say their answer.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
25%.
Wait. Go.
I said 7.
7,
25.
3.
I got nothing. I'm not even gonna go. I'm not even gonna go. Well, no, because
No.
if you go to a bar, say
Yeah.
yesterday going to Ryan's, if you were to poll every single woman that was actually just up in that,
POLL. Go on.
what's the percentage of the women who are there because their boyfriends are there?
That's what I'm saying. I'm more
What
like.
percent, and
Yeah.
so to poll everybody, it's like, okay, maybe in the beginning,
Dude,
okay,
25%
I'll watch
is
basketball
generous.
because he's
Hey,
watching basketball and I want to spend time with him.
Hold on.
Percent of men that love it and play it. 3, 2,
Ooh.
1.
40.
50%.
40. I went 40.
Yeah, maybe more like 40. 17.
Wow, I would say more than 17, but I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of nerds and non-athletes, and these are great questions. I don't even know. My brain's kind of like aneurysm right now. I'm like,
That's the thing though. It's like what percentage of kids grew up playing sports? Period. And I think that
Yeah.
number is like really high, right?
Yeah.
So if you have that background of I've played this sport before, I mean like. Whether you're watching the NBA or the WNBA or whatever, or if you're watching Little League, Little League games, because there's so many parents who are like watching their kids play the sport.
Right.
I consider that as part of the percentage. Like they are spectators of a particular sport. So that's why my numbers are so juicy.
I think mine meant like, but you love it. You're not watching it because your kid plays it. You're watching it and you actually like someone who's a fan of the game. Someone who's like, basketball's on? I want to check it out. So whether I play or don't, whether I'm male or female, how big is that? And if you compare male to female to male, female to female, these are just interesting. I mean, just for us, I'm seeing the spectrum. Like, wow, this is kind of like you kind of take for granted that you figure, but when you really try to put a number on it, I'm like, you came up with 17% of guys are into basketball. I'm like, that can't be. But then just the fact that you thought that makes me go like, am I off with my 40%?
I think you're off.
You really?
I think you're off.
That off though?
A big percentage are into hockey.
Football, they're into football, and not basketball. You're right.
Baseball.
You're right.
Google, will you check maybe TV ratings for maybe Super Bowl, basketball finals,
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
How many
And then
million people are watching?
That's true. You
this
might be.
football?
And then percent of
Yeah.
society, but
You
then
kinda-
again, maybe TVs. Hey, maybe we're all watching one TV, so maybe multiply by 4. Different factors, and I don't know. I mean, just indications. But yeah.
Why do we love it? And what parts of that is just a human thing, right? For me, it's a beautiful chess game. Do women love chess? Is that a male game? What's a woman's favorite sport? Let's say that first of all.
Well, it depends on the woman you're asking the question.
Well, no, let's just talk about if we had to generalize. Females in America, what's their favorite sport? Is it soccer? Is it
Might be soccer.
Soccer.
soccer? And then why?
To play or to watch?
Both, either. Like that they're interested in. That's like, females dig this. They're into this. Like if yoga was a sport, yoga would be killing it. Right. And why? Because a lot of that is just because I want my legs to look better. I mean, honestly, right? Let's not come on. But it's really about I want my ass to look good. And I don't blame you. Keep yoga. Keep stretching, girls.
Yoga was a sport. It'd be my favorite sport too to watch. I'm like, yoga's on. That's really
I had flexibility.
Dude, how about this? Yoga bocce ball. And you gotta roll it between the legs. Or croquet and yoga. But instead of the frame, it's just girls in yoga pants stretching.
Sounds like an Alice in Wonderland clip.
But you know,
soccer because
and if it is
because
soccer,
we all grew up playing soccer. Like soccer is the most popular sport that
But why?
that children grew up playing.
Why though?
Because it's outside, it's team sport.
You don't
like,
need a
it's
gym.
passing-
Yeah, basketball you need a gym. You don't need a gym for
Just a ball and then some grass.
I mean, that's why it
and,
works in third countries so much, because they're just kicking around
And
whatever.
anybody can play it. There's not a height advantage. There's not
right.
necessarily a speed advantage. I mean, like it's just an all-around
use it, yeah.
game.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like like you can find your niche depending on what your
Interesting.
skills are, because there's so many players on the field and there's so many roles and there's such a big field and there's one ball and that ball moves.
There's just so much about sports that I think is beautiful about the world and humanity, but I look at the female sitting on the side going, screw you and your sports. There's just something in me that goes like, you just don't understand. I mean, I'm passionate. I'm just like, whatever I'm passionate about, I want to share. That's it.
And maybe a lot of it is the competitive, combative nature of it, you know.
Maybe, yeah.
Back to caveman.
Yeah, it's
within our-
aggressive. It's war. It's war. It's
Yeah,
aggression.
yeah.
But so to me, especially like basketball, it's so much less. It's more about, I don't know. I just see so much more mental in something like basketball. And soccer is very similar to basketball. It's just the height advantage is the only difference in basketball.
And that,
But look at-
with the whole soccer thing, it's like and translating to the rest of the world. I mean, this is the world's most popular sport too, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. To me, it's human, and I love this idea that what if we erase that line?
And do you
So,
see a
but-
possible WNFL?
Ooh, absolutely.
I mean, there's more.
Isn't it-
It seems like there's more and more women who actually do want to play football, or girls more. You know, like your 13 and your 14-year-olds who are going on the boys' team.
And the only female one I saw so far is the one where they're in lingerie.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
That's Victoria's
That
Secret.
doesn't
Oh,
No,
count.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm happy about that. Are you insulted? That's the only version
That you're thinking of?
Well, that I know of.
That you're
but-
thinking of?
But then again, the jerseys are just as tight on the men as they are on the women. They just have less cloth, and yeah, I kind of I never really watched the game, but they look beautiful, you know.
I was watching you just pass by. You passed by.
Yeah, never watched.
But
it.
MMA was amazing, right? Dana White never thought that the women's league would, be much of anything, and now they're making the most money. You know, Ronda Rousey is.
Ronda Rousey might be the biggest thing to ever happen to female sports. I mean, this century. I don't know. Maybe there's some.
This century meaning 2000s or including the 1900s?
It's much less powerful if you want to go around.
You were 16 years?
It's like
So far?
like January 1st, like all year. When you see the January 1st joke, man. That's the best cereal in milk all year. No, but I mean, because it's not just a female doing well in a sport. We've seen that Serena Williams. We've seen that Billie Jean King. We've seen that Cheryl Miller.
Yeah.
But with Ronda Rousey, here's a girl who not only is doing really well at a sport and breaking all kinds of records and all that stuff, she could kick 9 out of 10 guys' asses in any bar across the world. And that is
Fair point.
that's eye-opening.
That's huge.
That is eye-opening.
That's huge.
Like, and we're not joking, right? At first, remember when it first started to happen? Everyone in the world had that conversation. You think you can take on Ronda Rousey if you had to? They even had that in Entourage. And then when the movie came out, Turtle had to fight Ronda Rousey because it's just, you knew everybody, every guy was thinking it, and we all were coming to the realization at the same time across the world. We're all going, I don't think I can defend myself against a girl who weighs 145 or whatever it is she won't. If I saw a girl that looked like Ronda Rousey in a sweater at a Barnes & Noble's, I would have no idea that she could murder me in 7 seconds. And that is waking up the whole entire planet, the world, right? Ronda Rousey that's why this whole conversation a little bit. It's like, hey, women, I think she's like any sport you can dominate it. I mean, but that's what's crazy. Can the girls get so good that one day they start beating the guys at basketball?
Maybe, absolutely.
I love how you went from absolute to maybe back to absolute. I saw you do the
That's
jump.
all
I felt
wavering.
you.
Hey, this is the women's pivot. Come on, women, pivot off of Ronda Rousey.
Was Reggie Miller always gonna outplay Cheryl? Will the WNBA ever produce a team that can beat the best team in the NBA? So the finals.
No.
Never.
No.
Not 50 years from now?
Now,
100 years
I
from
like
now.
to say
I
that
don't
it's
know, 'cause
possible,
look
but
at
it's
soccer. Look at soccer.
Anything-
There's more
anything's
people who
possible.
want
A
women's
1,000
soccer
years
than
from
men's
now.
soccer. The women are dominating in soccer.
How many years?
We're
How
talking
many
about
years?
some evolution and some mutation.
Well, I wanna
of
see
which
how far.
it becomes a matriarchal society, and the men are
Mike's like, have they grown wings by this time yet?
Yes. If they grow wings, the angels that they are, and be able to fly and slam dunk like that.
Never.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? Will the top fighter pound for pound in the women's ever beat the top fighter pound for pound in the men? Could
You know what? I would not say it's an impossibility.
Right.
I think there's because
Right.
timing is
Right.
everything. As we,
One crack,
you know, McGregor. Hello, we saw that.
I
and
mean, does Rousey have a
I
chance?
wouldn't-
Can she fight? What guy can you say she could beat that's a UFC guy fighter? Is there any guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The best of the best, there probably here's women and then men
Right.
here, but then, she can beat everyone maybe down here,
Yeah.
in that echelon. I just think the physiological differences between men and women are just, that's where it's at. But,
But you're like Rousey, like you're not just you are. I mean,
She's a superwoman.
If you were to feel Rousey's arms, and then you would feel like if you had the blindfold and go, "That's Rousey," that's
yeah.
that's like. Do you think you could do that test, the blindfolded bicep test?
So I mean.
Oh, that's Max Holloway. Oh, that's. Could you even tell the difference between Ronda's boob and her muscle? You're like, the boob muscle.
Tonight, I want you to think about your life. I want you to think about what you stand for and realize that all the suffering you've ever experienced means nothing in the long term. For every year you live, the universe will be around for trillions. And for every friend you've made, there are billions yet to be born that you will never meet. In the grand scheme of things, we are nobody. And yet at the same time, we are everything. We are X and Y chromosomes. We are G, C, A, and T genomes. We are complex carbohydrates, simple proteins, soft tissue, hardwired neurons. We are strong bonds linked in nervous systems. And while this Earth's surface is covered with 65% salt water, we are walking bags made of 65% salt water, merely mimicking the environment that we evolved from. And when we are done, this flesh we call our own returns home to the sea when we dissipate, evaporate into water vapor, and these bones will be broken down by the roots of the tallest trees, while this Earth, hurling through space, will freeze and boil as it has for eons as it orbits the sun, which in 5 billion years will transform into a red giant and scorch all life as we know it. Its last blast before it fizzles into a whimper, remembered by nobody. Or maybe charted by aliens as they peer through telescopes, logging your sun as a piece of data that came and went, and these aliens, whoever they may or may not be, I want them to think about their lives. I want you to think about your life as you study me through your primitive telescopes, and I want everybody, the aliens, you, and me, to realize that even when our hearts break or when work gets rough or when rent's due or when someone somewhere says something stupid about you, even in the face of homicide, genocide, and suicide, in the face of racism, sexism, classism, and insert really bad word here, ism. No matter how hard life may get for you or for other people, zoom out. Zoom out and realize that all the evil in this world is transient. Heck, all the good in this world is transient. You, me, all of us are transient. You will not be you in the grand scheme of things, which makes all your suffering trivial. Which makes your ecstasy the only thing worth remembering as part of the universe expressing itself in one giant orgasm known as the Big Bang. We are its aftermath sigh. Its alibi for not having a reason. You are the universe learning about itself. You are the universe asking itself why it's here. You will soon be the universe not learning or asking anything. You're everything and nothing at the same time, no matter how hard it is to admit. No matter how afraid we get and how much we want to deny that, and how much we want to deny the truth. Well, the truth is, we're gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, you definitely gonna die.
That's for damn sure.
You should eat more vegetables, bro. And you're gonna chant his name, we're still gonna die. All of us! But the truth is hard to swallow, and so we're doing everything we can to avoid the big picture, because the big picture is paralyzing, and so we focus our eyes on the day-to-day dramas of our lives. But not tonight. Tonight, I want you to think about your life right here. Not here, the Hawaii Slam Grand Slam Finals, but here, this world, planet Earth, here, this galaxy, this universe. We are not cavemen anymore. There are no saber-toothed tigers lurking in the shadows, yet most of us cling to our fears of the animals we evolved from. What are we so afraid of? We've been etching the same patterns and the same predictable patterns for years. We've been etching the same... Oh, that. We've been etching the same patterns and the same predictable places for years. Why do we live the way that they tell us to? And who the frick are they anyway? It's about time we start doing what's in our hearts, because that's all we really got. I want you to think about all the things you wish you could do. And tonight, I want you to do one of them. And tomorrow, another. Our lives are temporary art pieces. We are works in progress, so I say paint your ass off. Use fluorescent yellows and reds in the places there aren't any color. Dance for the moments, scrub your life out of soil, and make the universe smile. Be the expressive process that is humanity. Tonight, I want you to think about your life, and tomorrow, I want you to live it.